name is David Bruggeman, and I'm here to demo my affordability calculator. This was created for CS683. So in the mortgage industry, somebody's loan approval is based on credit rating, income, and down payment. Using these values, you can determine how much somebody could afford in a mortgage. And for this tool, for somebody with good credit, I assume that a max down payment could be 5%, and 40% of their income could go to the payment. For somebody with bad credit, a max down payment is 20%, and 30% could go to the payment. The input screen has edit text fields and spinners. I used error handling to validate that somebody provides a down payment and monthly income, and results are passed to the affordability screen. So the affordability screen provides 8 values. It returns the 5 values they provided originally and calculates and determines 3 new values. So we'll determine the max payment and then use that for loan amount and purchase. The inputs and results are formatted nicely and return that way. The user can go back to the input screen using the orange button at the bottom or to the amortization screen. If they click the amortization screen, all 8 values will be passed to that front end and Java class. And the banner at the top links to bankrate.com. If there's no network access, it is hidden. Amortization schedule will show the 3 values that are used for this tool, which is loan amount, payment, and interest rate. And then you can see what we have here is the table of the amortization laid out by year. So I used a nested for loop to actually do the calculations. It has to go through 12 times per year, and there's 15 years here. And then I stored that in an array and use that to pass back the values. So if somebody were to click the inputs, they would go back to the input screen. If they click the affordability results, they'll go back to the affordability screen, and all 8 values will be passed back, because even though only 3 are displayed, 5 are actually still kept track by this class. So let me go ahead and show the actual tool. So I'm using an emulator called Visor to show my screen here on the main screen. So let me just go ahead and enter a couple things. So if I go ahead and click calculate, I haven't entered any value, get an error message, says enter a down payment amount. I'll go ahead and enter that in here. And let me try one more time. And then now that one's resolved, but the next one is needing to be entered. So I'm going to say 30-year term. I'm going to make this 4% interest rate. I'm going to say good credit, and I'm going to go ahead and calculate. So now you can see that I could buy a home of $200,000. I'd have a $190,000 loan amount, $907 payment, and then the values at the bottom were provided by the user. In this case, I don't have the banner showing because I don't have network access. I can show that here real quickly. If I go to my settings and turn Wi-Fi on. Oops, it's connected. Let me go back and open the app. And then I'll go to this screen and then go back just to finish this demo. And now the banner is showing there. If I click the banner, I'll see I go to bankrate.com, click back. And now I'll go to the final screen, which is the amortization screen. This one also has the banner at the top. There's 3 values shown here. Those 3 values are used in determining the amortization schedule. And then I used the nested for loop to do all the calculations, kept an array, and then display them all back here. So let's try one more. Let's go ahead and click the input screen. And this time I'll try something else. Let's say the person has $20,000 down. Let's say they have a $3,000 income, and let's say they'll keep it at 30-year, but let's say their interest rate is a little bit higher, and they have bad credit. Interest rate is higher, and they have bad credit. So this person can afford a $100,000 house, $80,000 loan amount, and then you go to amortization schedule, and you'll see that's kind of goes down to $54,000 at the end of this term period, and that's how it works. So if I go to my Java here, or my Android Studio, here is my main input screen. I have a table going on to capture the value. You can see the spinners here. And then affordability screen, I have again a table laid out the orange buttons here, banner at the top, and I'll go to my amortization results. So here at the table, this one's got more table going on because there's 4 columns. And then we'll go to the string. These are used for the spinner. This is the term, this is the interest rate, and this is the credit rating. Manifest, I have here, these are the 2 permissions I need. This is used to display the banner at the top. And then this is my main program, but I have 2 others here, and those are captured here in the manifest. So if I want to go see the main program, here are the values, the 5%, 20%. Those are captured here as final values. This is the down payment. This is used for the income side. Here are the spinners. There's 1 spinner, there's 3 of them. That creates the spinners. And then here is where I show my error handling, is that I will pass this error message back. Sorry, this error message back if there's nothing, if it's empty. And I do this again for monthly income as well. Here are where I capture the values from the spinner. And here's some calculations to determine the values I need. I scroll down to the bottom. Okay, the very bottom I have, this is the one that actually compares the 2 down payments, and it'll take the one that is the most constraining. And then here is, will determine whether I should use the max income for good credit or for bad credit, which is the 30 or 40%. And this is for the 5% or the 20% for the down payment amount. That calculates that there. Here is my monthly payment calculation. And you can see I actually put a little bit of a summary to explain it a little bit better there in the comment. But here's how it's all calculated out. And then I'll finish my values here, do some formatting. Not all the values are going to be formatted because they need to stay as plain text, because some of them will be converted into double later on, but then they'll all be passed as strings to the next screen. And then here's actually how I'm passing the values. So on the affordability result, or the results afford screen, here I'm capturing all those values, doing some formatting here, and displaying everything to the results screen. And then down here is the banner. You can see my logic here. If there's network connection, and if there's a network connection, then nothing will happen. The button will show. But if there's not, then you'll see it set to invisible. And then here is passing control to the input screen. Not too much to do that. It just passes it. But the amortization results, I have to pass all 8 values. And then I will go to the final screen. And here is the amortization Java. So here I'm collecting all those values, doing some formatting. And here are the setting up the arrays that I mentioned. Here's the nested for loop going on that's actually doing the calculations. And then here is a series where you can see for year 1, 2, 3, all the way down to year 15, I am passing back with the principal, interest, and balance back to the screen. And then here's the same logic as on the prior screen that determines if the banner should show for bank rate. And here's past the input screen, and then here's past to the affordability results screen. And that's the end of the program. So this was a great project. It was very fun to do. 15 years ago, I used to be a product manager in the financial services industry. So this is one of several calculators I created. At that time, what I did is I did some modeling of calculations in a spreadsheet, and then worked with the UI designers, but an actual Java engineer did the coding. And this is very rewarding to be able to do this myself. My plan from here is to continue building my mobile application development skills, and also to work on web development. And I think also the MVC approach was very useful. And thank you very much for all the learning. I really enjoyed it greatly. I like the freedom this project had to be able to pursue a project that I was interested in.